let's finish off this tutorial series on operators with operator precedence. So really the only way to show precedence is to write it out. So we'll write out the operators from basically the highest to lowest precedence, and then we'll see what it looks like. And precedence just means, um, as far as operators go, which one is going to be executed first. So for example, in math, we have something like this, 2 times 3 times 5, which if you didn't know operator precedence, you may just work from left to right, which you might say 2 plus 3 is 5, and 5 times 5 is 25. And you would be wrong because the multiplication operator has a higher precedence than the addition operator. So you would, if you wanted to get a correct answer, say 3 times 5 is 15, and then 15 plus 2 is 17. So you would get 17 as your answer. I think the easiest way to do this is just to basically look at PHP .NET manual and search for operator precedence. So right here they dictate out this table, and from top to bottom the operator precedence, right? So the new operator has the highest precedence, which basically instantiates a class, which we'll get to soon enough, followed by like the exponential arithmetic operator, like 2 raised to the 4th, followed by increment, instance of, which we haven't gotten to any kind of objects yet, so we haven't done that yet, followed by the negation operator, multiplication, addition, or multiplication, division, and the modulus operator, followed by addition, subtraction, followed by shifting, followed by some comparison operators, followed by some other comparison operators, which we've covered all of these. And down here, for example, we can see that we have the logical and, or, and then even down here, we have XOR, or, and. So even though and do the same thing, they are different precedents. So that's pretty much one of the things that you kind of have to keep an eye out for. So right here, PHP does provide an example, which, for example, it's the same thing we covered. 3 times 3 modulus 5. You can see they grouped it with parentheses, which just basically says, like, hey, you're just working left to right. This example right here, although it's pretty good on the ternary operator, we're going to work our own example, and this just gets a little too confusing the way they grouped it. So let's go ahead and let's start looking at some stuff, right? So I think the easiest one is just to set a couple to either true or false, a couple of variables. So we'll set a is equal to true and b is equal to false, and then we'll do like a bar dump, and then we'll create an expression like a and b, right? So we know that with our logical AND operator, the only time that this expression can evaluate to true is if both the left and the right side are true. So currently we have a is true and b is false, so this will actually come out false. If we refresh this page, you will see that we get false. So now let's see what we can do to make this a true statement, right? So we can add, for example, the not operator right here. And what this does is, because the not operator has a higher precedence than the logical AND operator, and if we look at that, we can look at that right here. There's the not operator, and there's the logical AND, so it's way up there. So what ends up happening is this gets evaluated first, and then the overall expression. So not B, not false. Let's just go ahead and write that out. Not B is equal to not false, and not false is equal to true. So on the right side you get true, and then true, A is already true, true and true becomes true. So let's go ahead and refresh that, and you can see right there that now we have true. So let's do another example. We'll say, for example, C is equal to, I don't know, 10, B is equal to 12. And we can say C plus D is greater than D times 2. All right, so let's see what's going on right here. I think the best way to do this, if we don't know, is to look at our operator precedence. So we'll open up that list and we'll start looking. So right here, we can see that we have multiplication, greater than symbol, and plus. So if we start going down the list, we'll see that we hit multiplication first. So the first thing we're going to do is multiplication. The next thing that we're going to do right underneath is addition. And then finally, we're going to be doing comparison with the greater than symbol, which actually has a lower precedence than either. All right, so we'll go ahead and save that. Right, so now we can start evaluating this expression. So we could say multiplication first. D, which is 12, times 2, which is 24. So in the end, we get C plus D is greater than 24. Then we'll do addition, C plus D. So 10 plus 12, which is 22. 22 is greater than 24. And then finally, we're going to be doing the comparison operator. 22 greater than 24, that comes out to false. So let's see if we get false. If we refresh our page, and there we go, we get false. Now, just like we've seen inside the PHP example, right here, basically what they're doing is adding parentheses. Now, we can actually do that in code, and we can override precedence. So we can say something like var dump. Let's just stick with the C and D that we currently have, and let's just do, like, for example, C plus D times C divided by B. Now, in mathematical terms, this expression will get evaluated first, followed by the result of this divided by B, followed by the addition, right? But let's say we want to do this one first, and then add it, and then divide it. So that's pretty simple. We would just add parentheses around there, followed by parentheses around that, and then finally just divide by B, right? So it will come out to, well, whatever it comes out to. I guess we will see shortly, because I'm not doing that much math. I'm already out of school, so no more math for me. And we get this big fat error because, let's take a look. Why? Oh, because I divided by B instead of by D. As you can see, B is actually just false. So let's go ahead and refresh the page. All right, there we go. Now we get 10.83333 repeated. That's pretty much as far as precedence goes. Let's see what happens if we divide by A. I'm kind of curious. A is true. Will that get converted into 1? Yes, it does. Okay, so PHP does some weird stuff. So if you don't know what I just did, let's take out the calculator. 10 times 12 is 120, right there, plus C, which is plus 10, is 130, and then divided by A, which is true. True gets converted into 1, and we get 130. So kind of weird, a little glitch, but we're not going to end it there. But if you do get some weird results like that, just know maybe you did something. So for example, let's say you have an expression right here that says D is greater than C, right? Well, let's say we put that like that. So in this case, D is greater than C. That's true. So we'll still get 130, right? Just because we're going to be doing this. This comes up to 130 divided by, is D greater than C, which is true, divided by 1. So let's go ahead and refresh that page. See if that comes out to 130 still as soon as it finishes loading. And sure enough, there you go. So sometimes you're going to get weird results like that. If you do, you're going to have to kind of dig through your logic and see what's going on.